Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pink Table Talk. How are you all doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day. We are part 2 with the Battle of the Sexes. Me and Deidre representing for the women, and Pastor V. Christopher Cabiness is on with us today, and Pastor Daniel Charles is here as well. And we had, if you haven't checked out part 1, you need to go back, look at that, because that episode, amazing. Would y'all say so as well?
Amazing.
I think that was good.
It was dope.
That was really good. We could have kept going on that for about 2 more hours, but we had to stop. So we're coming back today with our second part on it, and we've got questions. What we're doing is we're just going back and forth, gaining an understanding about what men feel and how women feel. So they're giving their point of things, and then we're kind of giving our point as well as to, you know, the battles that we have with each other. So I'm excited for y'all. Y'all ready to get back into it?
We ready.
So when we left off on our last show, the question that I was asking, we left y'all with a cliffhanger. The question I was asking was about how you can state to your husband, your wife, the guy you're dating, the girl you're dating, I need this, or can you pick up the kids on this day, or can you do this for me? I need my car done. You see the gas light on, can you just get me some gas? Can you do this? Can you whatever? But some things we feel like as women should be understood because it's there. You see that my tires are bald, so I need tires on my car, or whatever it may be. And you may even mention it. So do we have to remind you over and over? Because maybe, you know, sometimes as women we'll tell you, hey, can you get this done? And you'll say, yeah. And so the next time we're expecting you to do it because we've asked you to do it before. So is that something that we have to continuously say, because it starts feeling like you're our child and not our man, so to speak, in a sense, when it's repetitive. And it might be the same way for you guys with us. So my question is, do you all need reminders? Do we have to, because we don't want to come off as nagging.
Right.
But if it keeps happening and we keep saying it over and over, that's a need, not a want, but it's a need that we may have. And it may be something small, nothing big, just something that we just need. Like, how do we get that across to you without coming across as a nag?
Nagging.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, I mean, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with a real man who has the capacity,
Okay.
I look at that from the standpoint of you got to be in tune. You got to have vision to see. And oftentimes, you got to ask yourselves, does this person have the capacity to bring balance?
Yeah.
And so, really, a woman really should not tell a man, hey, my car needs detailing, my oil needs changing, I need gas. He should just see that there's a need and provide that need. Now, granted, there will be moments where he would need reminding. And I don't have the power to necessarily speak for we, them, they, us, but I can speak for me. My life has so many demands, but I can make things happen. And so with that being said, I may have to be reminded, hey, did you check on my tires, or did you check on this? Oh, let me make it happen. But overall, a man must be in tune to that woman. And I think that what has happened is with men not being in tune to the woman, I think that we have put you all in neutral in a lot of ways.
That's true.
And we have forced y'all to be the plumbers
That's what I was about to
That's
and
true.
mechanics. And y'all were never built for that per se.
wouldn't.
You know, not in the literal sense, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so a lot of women are literally living in neutral right now
Yeah.
because of man's lack of being in tune. That's my take on that.
So what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
What?
So what do you do?
Y'all do?
So what he said was, you got to make sure you're with a man who has the capacity
Capacity.
to be able to understand you, and you don't have to continuously do that. But they may need a reminder.
Right.
But if it's a reoccurring thing, he may not be the guy for
He
you.
may not have the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it's all about communication, because there may be some needs that you're going to need, granted, or brought attention to, that you got to communicate.
Yeah.
But overall, there should be some parts of your life where if both of us are working, 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
We coming in, we got the kids, we scratching our head. Hey, if you cooking, then I'm washing the dishes.
Right.
Or if you're washing the dishes, then hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get the kids' clothes out.
Right.
It's all about balance,
Yeah.
being in tune. And then too, most men don't understand that if you got a moment or a free day, a free time, and you know your significant other or your wife or your woman has so many other demands, then set up a spa day, set it up at the house, you know, so once she gets home, you know, you've created an environment, an atmosphere, you know, for God to bless you. That's if you're married, but I'll let him talk about that.
I'm boiling in my seat.
He married. He married.
I'm boiling in my seat. I'm gonna start off like this.
Come on.
Go ahead.
We are not mind readers.
Okay.
We do not mind. We don't read minds. Now, y'all women, y'all throw mixed signals. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. And we live in a culture now where y'all try to do everything.
Yeah.
And do it. So we're like, okay, do you want me to do it? Don't you know? Okay, or don't you want me to do it? And since you keep taking over, guess what men gonna do? Okay,
Back up.
you got that.
Kind of like they can't figure out what they want to eat.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're
and
saying.
so,
I always
and
know
I'm gonna
that
put
one.
y'all in my business. This is how it go in the Charles household.
Oh, don't get no divorce nothing.
Tell it all. You might have to
I
go
like
back
to be
sleep.
Hey, Miss
transparent.
Charles, we love you, girl. We got your back. We got your
I like to
back.
be transparent. I like to be transparent.
Okay, I
This
love it.
this is what I battle with, and I know a lot of men go through this. Things like tire, gas, trash can, men, that ain't no problem. I think we're gonna handle that for the most part. But I think it comes down to the household things. Now, we may see a situation like Kat was just describing. Okay, we got kids, they got practice, I cleaning, I see the clothes need washing. I may say, okay, I got the bathroom, I'm gonna clean it, baby. I see you need help, I got you. But when I clean the bathroom, you say, it ain't clean how you will clean it. And what you do? You go right behind me and clean it after I done thought I worked hard and did a good job.
Reb, I'm just going,
Now,
can I slide over?
so what is that
Get a
gonna make
little
me
hot
do?
over there.
What is that gonna make man do? Okay.
Back up.
Next time you
Yeah.
say I'm trying to help you,
Yeah.
but you don't want my help.
Yeah.
So now when I see you running around the house trying to take care of everything, and I'm sitting there playing the PlayStation or on my phone, and you get mad because you doing everything, and it seems like I'm not doing nothing. Well, baby, I done tried to help you. My help ain't good enough.
So why can't you just say, well, what was I supposed to do? How was I supposed to clean?
Well, I try that, and guess
Okay.
what? Guess what answer I get? I'm glad you said that. I said, well, baby, what do you want me to do? You don't know? I don't know. I need you to communicate with me and tell me, baby, what is it that you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? You should know already. We do this every day. Well, baby, I don't know, baby. I don't. If I got to tell you, then don't worry about it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
She's
You know?
frustrated by
Lord,
that.
help.
But I
so-
think that's when we got to define what the
Yeah.
help looks like to us. We've got to
Right.
learn to let that go.
And what it looks
Because
like to you may not.
it don't
Yeah.
look the
To
same.
me.
So if I want something done, like, hey, like if it's that.
Strengths and
when
weaknesses.
There you go.
If you pick up the kids from school, make sure that they get their book bags because they come home and so when you get home, just check when they coming out to school, see if they got the book bag. And you'll be like, okay, but sometimes you might miss it. And I think sometimes we have to be patient because you guys are you're not us.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes we want you to be our man, but then we want you to be our homegirl at the same time.
And we
know
have to
everything.
understand,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do how you do because I'm not
Yeah,
you. I
yeah.
can't clean the bathroom like you.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
take care of the kids like you. Mama, you're a superstar. You got it. Daddy can't. I tried. I can't. I'm me and you.
Yeah.
So how do you define the balance? Where's the balance then?
I think that's where the communication comes in, where you
Right,
have to sit
right.
down when you brought it back down, not hot and heated.
That's right.
But when it's come
Right.
back down, I just want to talk to you. I ain't gonna lie, my feels was a little hurt. I really thought I cleaned that bathroom. Like, I was taking pictures and everything. I was excited. I thought I was helping.
Well, you said I took pictures.
I took a selfie.
I even
Right.
posted it.
Yeah, and make it a
was
joke,
proud of
kind of
myself.
like a thing where she can say, he's really trying, versus,
Yeah.
why he just, because she probably has a lot of other things she's thinking about, and
Yeah.
a lot of us
Mommy
are task oriented. We just trying to get things done, and we ain't thinking about, we want it to look the way we want it. But I think if you have a conversation, that helps a lot. Now, I ain't never been married, but I know if you come to me and say that will help me.
You got to do.
What you got to say, Deidre?
I agree. I am.
That's all you gonna say?
I guess with my personality, I'm just like I guess your wife, like, Like we do this. You
Every
see
day.
me clean the bathroom every week. You know, this go here, that go there, it be white. Like yours is not white. So that's my thing. It's the patience. It's just the patience.
Yeah.
Like you said, everybody have a lot on their mind.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And it's probably not coming from a malicious place.
Right,
It's
it's
just
not.
she's
Yeah.
just trying to get things done.
Today, I got something special for you. We're gonna be making a southern staple. Now with some sauteed squash and onions. Okay guys, we got cabbage is just about done.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hi, this is Lena Bird Miles, and you're watching Tea and Worship right here on Hope TV.
Keep it 100. Do y'all think we're supposed to be mind readers? Y'all think we're supposed to know?
Well, sometimes, go
I
ahead.
don't think you need to be a mind, but I think if you've been with a person for so long, you learn them, just like we learn the men, and we do exactly how y'all like things, what you want, and we feel it should be the same way. It shouldn't be always, I'm not a mind reader. Well, you should have read my mind by now. Like, it's been 10
Or
years.
even if it's like your homeboys or whatever, your friends, when you're in friendships, the
Yeah.
same thing
Yeah.
applies. You know, if you know your friend's been going through something, you're not going to just not call them as much as you probably would. You know, you're going to make sure they good because you're in tune with how that's your homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So I think with women, we're like, I said that I'm having a hard time at work. You just ain't gonna send me, I hope everything going good today. You just gonna, and then I come home enraged about what happened at work, and you sitting there watching the game, they say notice. Like, you know, you could have been talking to me on my way home.
Yeah.
You know the game's coming on in a couple minutes. Start thinking ahead. Like, you know, because it's like, guys, especially with
think like
football. Football coming up, you need to get everything done before that stuff, you know. So it's like, babe, let's go out to brunch. We need to go Saturday morning at whatever time. I know.
11. See you at
We
11,
need to go
yeah.
at 9. Let's get on up and go and
Exactly.
spend time together. So when you watching, you know, your games and stuff, she don't feel neglected. You know, but you thought about it ahead of time.
Because
So I
probably during the time that you're watching your game, she got you food eating on your game, your little beverages, and all of that.
Do she or you do all that? You do all the cooking?
I don't do all the cooking, but I do cook.
Yeah. But I bet you would get a lot more out of it if you did it. If I'm telling you, take care of us. We're gonna take care of us.
That's why I said, for men, you got to be so in tune that, hey, I'm going to create an environment, a space, an atmosphere for her, you know.
Like Christ does the church.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
We
here's the
create
other
an
part.
atmosphere for him to come on in.
But here's the other part. When we talk about relationship, love, what does the Word of God references that we perish for a lack of what? Knowledge. Paul says in Philippians 1, he talks about, it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more, as he speaks about the church at Philippi's relationship with Christ and even to us. But he's saying to us, we should investigate. We should gather intel. There should be a level that we want to continue to know, to have a better understanding as it relates to love. That's how love abounds. That's how love grows. And when we can gather in those relationships and never settle, you know, because she's looking at you saying, you're supposed to know. You know, you're looking at her like, okay, but, you know, but a lot of times relationships are stagnated because we're not on a quest. You know, that's why Paul says, I want to know him. You know, in his suffering and his death, I want to know him. And so we got to be open to learning evolving, growing together, and the only way we can grow is in knowledge of one another.
That's right.
And having that understanding. And when we gather the knowledge, have the understanding.
What's interesting about that, as we grow and learn one another in marriage, we're always changing. So you never
right.
Constantly evolving.
Yeah, yeah. So her favorite sweet 2 years ago, it may be something different now.
Right.
True.
Oh, baby, I don't like that no more. When that?
Right.
You know, so we're always learning each other, always growing. And so you always got to keep that communication open.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing too. We keep coming back to is communication. Like
Communication.
you were talking about with the toilet. The bathroom. I said the toilet, cleaning the toilet. But the bathroom situation, you know, a lot of times we let stuff fester. I know I'm like that. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. And I just keep going. And then not realizing is layers and layers. So I done said that 10 times. So now when I get to that 10th tier, now you're going to get from 1, 2, 3, all of that's coming out.
Yeah, my godfather said when a woman is upset, the house is upset, outside is upset, the dog upset, the car in the garage upset, everybody upset. You know?
Because you got to nip things in the bud and you got to have conversations. And that's one thing that we got to, you know, I always say normalize. Normalize when something upsets you saying something.
Exactly.
And saying it the right way at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, that timing.
You're right. You're right, Mother Reed. You're right.
Thanks, the Pastor Cabiness.
This is so good. I just hate I can't let everybody see me writing everything down. This is so good. But I have a question. Okay, we talked about this the other day. Okay, if your mate wants to do a business venture or something that you're not in agreement with, how do you support them without crushing their dreams?
They want to be a rapper at 45.
55.
Or, you know, they don't, you know how some women and men, it's like they may go to a nail convention. Now they want to do nails.
Right.
And they're like, I got this vision. I want to, you know, but that might be how do you remain in it without, you like, you won't stick with nothing. So how we going, you know?
This is so funny. So the old me, I used to always come up with these quick get-rich schemes.
Okay.
Right?
Don't say schemes.
I'm gonna use that word.
Thank you.
No,
You're right.
I don't mean it
Like wholesome
well,
man.
things like I'll come up with these ideas. Like, oh, this is a good way to get money. And,
Business idea.
And my wife and
Just
I,
a business idea.
a business
Don't say
idea,
scheme.
a business idea. So y'all pardon me for that. And my wife and I, we think totally different. You know, she's deep. She think about what if and all this. Me, we just, oh, this is a good idea. Let's do it. We don't think about the other stuff.
Yeah.
And so every time I come up with a great idea, I'm talking about a great idea. At least I think. Boy, she'll shoot it down.
He said,
And she'll say, well, what about this? What about that? What about that? I'm like, is you with me or is you against me? You know, no.
Yeah.
But everything she was saying was right. So I was mad, but at the same time, I was like, God, she making sense.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what she was being?
What?
Help.
A helpmate.
Your wife?
Yeah. A defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she brings that balance to us. I mean, I can be excited about a thing, and she'll think about, I felt like all the negative stuff. I'm like, man, why you being so negative, baby? Right. And then when I sat and thought about it, like, you know what, that woman sure right.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's what we have to do. We have to be a helpmate. We have to be a team player. Somebody has to have our blind eye.
Right.
And so if you know something or have some wisdom on something that your spouse or somebody you're in a relationship with, I think you should let them know.
Yeah.
Say, hey, here's the pros and cons. Did you think about this, baby?
Yeah.
I don't think, what about this? I've seen this happen before. You know what I'm saying? So I think you should just be open about it.
So it all goes back to communication, how you say it.
How you say
And
it.
I'd be like, boy,
And
you
when
know
you
you
say
ain't,
it.
you
And
know.
timing. Yeah, once
Right,
again,
and
go back to
timing. Versus
I'm gonna
just
feel like
shooting
you
them
ain't
down.
respecting me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna feel like I got this good idea and you're not supporting me.
Right. It's
Right.
Just, right.
So,
And that can break your spirit.
man,
Because what we're talking about with growth, and you're feeling like you're growing as a person, and now you're wanting to get into something different, because we're all not going to just, you know, you may have a wife or a husband who's been doing the same job 20 years, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, I think I want to do this now. So, you know, the insurance is going to change, things are going to be different.
The midlife
And so,
crisis
Yeah,
moment.
the midlife. So,
I want a two-seater.
I need a Harley Davidson. I need a motorcycle. I need, you know. I was looking, my homeboy got a Corvette. You know, the whole 40s, 50s. Now we want Corvettes and all this stuff. So it's like you just have to grow with them. And I think I think too, and this is just me, even with my brothers. I really have to watch. When they tell me something, I have to tell myself, let them talk about it. And say, okay, that sounds exciting. Well, just let's
Right.
research some more. You want me to research or find some people that are doing what you're thinking about instead of saying, why you want to do that? And what brought that on? What you been hanging around so-and-so now you want to do
Right.
that.
So it's the
you know,
it's
and
the way you.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I do that with my brothers
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
And just doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
Because really, what your wife is doing, she's showing you support.
Right.
She's showing you support. But what we often miss as men is if the woman has the Spirit of God and she's morally sound, we cannot forget it was the woman that identified the enemy. It wasn't us. And so a lot of times women see things that we can't
Yeah.
see. You know, it was Eve that identified the serpent, while man was blaming the woman. You know, but it was Eve was like, no, it was him over there. But I think that when we do the due diligence and we do what we would consider to be like a SWOT analysis, you know, doing your research and making sure that, hey, if we do this, hey, we got to move with wisdom.
Right.
Why? Because it's going to affect both of us.
It's going to affect both of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
We already, he's. So go ahead.
We're talking about healthy aging and healthy living.
I'm so passionate about feeding your skin the truth. And the truth is with fruits, vegetables, and all type of herbs. And that's really my motto is feed your skin the truth.
You can say yes 20 times to please somebody, but the one
Spiral, I think it is, the new song. He said, you can give a woman 1,000,000 Tuesdays, but you turn down 4 Saturdays, and she'll remember it forever.
That's wow.
Go ahead.
No, you good. Y'all are straight. But one of my questions too, we were talking about being equally yoked. And is it more, and I know the answer to this, but I want you all to elaborate. Is it more than just being Christians, being saved? What do you feel about being equally yoked? We always talk about, you know, you got to get you a man in the church and you got to, what is equally yoked to you all?
I'm going to let him go.
Go ahead, Pastor Cal. I'm going to let you have that one.
Now, being equally yoked, yes, it is you know, we view that from a spiritual lens, but also socially. So when we look at the culture of our day, the context of our world, I think that not only should we be equally yoked as it relates to marriage, but also as it relates to ministry. When it comes to business and the marketplace, being connected with people of like-mindedness and understanding the importance of relationship, understanding the importance of one's presence. And so when you look at, it's not good for man to be alone. That's the first Adam. Okay, but then it's not good for us. Let them have dominion. That's man and woman. So it's not good for us to be alone. But then when we look at being equally yoked, the same thing applies to the second Adam. It's not good for him to be alone. And that's Jesus, the Christ. It's not good for him to be alone because we, man and woman, we are the totality of what God sees us as, and that's woman. And whether we're male or female, and Christ is going to marry the church, the bride. And so when we look at that, Christ can be equally yoked to. And so if it's not good for Christ to be alone,
Right.
it's not good for us to be alone as men and women to be alone in the sense of being connected with people who are unequally yoked, who are not yoked with us, who are not equal with us. Because you can be in a relationship and still be alone.
That is very true.
Because you're not equally yoked. Ain't nobody talking.
Yeah, I'm talking.
You can be in a relationship and be all by your goddamn self because you ain't yoked.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody talking. I don't
That's
hear nobody
good.
saying nothing in Jerusalem.
I want to talk about how painful that could be, whether you're in a relationship, friendship. So, for example,
Wow.
BC, before Christ, before I got saved,
Wow.
I was in the streets. And when God was calling me to a higher level, you know, all my friends I grew up with, even family, you know, because you're going up, you begin to be unequally yoked. God is
Yes.
pulling on here, your friends
Yes.
here. And when you realize that, hey, these people ain't gonna be able to go where you going.
Right.
And or they start treating you different because now you're acting different or you're acting Christ-like.
Yeah.
It's so painful.
It is.
People that you thought loved you, man, you mean to tell me just because I'm choosing Christ, you feel this way
Okay.
about me, or
Right.
you're gonna reject me?
Right.
Right? That's painful. These talking about people that you love.
Yeah.
So it's a painful experience. Then you talk about relationships, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, or in a marriage. You may think you're gonna marry somebody and y'all probably lived a party life before you got married. You don't know what God got planned ahead. All of a sudden you wanna be saved. And now here it is, you done married this man or this woman. You love them with all you got. But here it is, God has given you has placed a mantle on your life or a calling on your life, and you're like, man, which one do I choose? I love this woman, I love this man.
Wow.
One is in Christ, the other one's still in the world.
The other one's still in the world.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm gonna be with this person, here I am. I'm trying to go to church. I'm trying to pray. I'm trying to be on the leadership team. But here, this person is. They in the club. They posting it on Facebook.
Yeah.
How can I walk and face these people? I'm trying to live one way. This person live another way. It comes to the point where I try to speak into this person. I try to encourage them. I can't make them choose God, and so now I got to make a decision because we're unequally yoked. Just the pain and the strife that brings in relationships is painful. And the people think that God comes for us to get along, but He doesn't. He comes to bring that. Which side are you gonna choose?
Right.
Yeah, He won't smoke. So which one are you gonna choose?
Yeah.
And so I've experienced that pain on both sides, and so I think people don't realize that when you're unequally yoked, whether it be in friendships, whether it be wherever you're trying to go, there's gonna be some pulling away and some pain that comes with that.
Right.
How can they walk together?
Unless they agree.
Unless they agree.
Yeah.
Man.
That's crazy. And it's sad though too, because like you said, it is painful. Because you think people gonna be with you the whole way.
That's right.
Because you feel like they should be there, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Oh, you
That's
different.
Yeah.
You think you better than us now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You think
Yeah.
you all that.
And you go to church all the time. I remember when you was out here with me the other day. We was just together, So yeah, I completely understand. Did you want to do that last question about the comparison?
Are we
Deidre?
running out of time?
Yeah.
So comparison in relationships. What is a relationship that you married? So do you have a married couple relationship that you would want? How you want your marriage to be, or
Do you have mentors or?
Yeah.
The question really, I think what she's trying to say is with comparison, what do we look to to actually see what a marriage should look like?
Right.
Do you have a person that you can look at?
A physical person,
or-
excluding the Bible.
Right. Or is there, because right now in our culture, everything is comparison.
Well, they ask this question.
I'm on Instagram, I'm on this. Oh, look at them, they a power couple. He
can't
doing
date,
this,
yeah, right.
and it's like, and we see that in the church a lot.
Yeah.
And I can talk from my own personal, and nobody take this to be offense or whatever, but it's like, the pastor and his wife, so we like, oh, the pastor and first lady, oh, that's first lady, oh, and we make these people to be gods when they're just people that are in a leadership position. They got problems just like you got
like
problems.
everybody else.
Yeah, they have the word and they know a lot of word and stuff, but they still have to put it to use just like everybody else, right? So I think that we put people in these positions, and then if something happens, it's, oh Lord, I can't. He can't tell me nothing about it because he got.
Right.
Actually, I feel like if that's the case, you can tell me a little more because you got some life experience. You ain't up here playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's for me. For me, I feel like if you mess up, I give people grace and allowance for faults because I feel like we all can fall. I don't care who you are, the usher, to the door, to the janitor, whatever.
We will fall.
And I think that it's wrong when a lot of church people, we put these relationships up here when, I mean, they people. They got problems. And if we brought you and your husband up in here and and these are the same people that then counseled you, now all of a sudden they ain't qualified to lead you or teach you or tell you nothing.
I've actually been there, and I think that the harsh reality for the African American community, and I'm just going to speak for us, is we don't have many healthy relationships to compare to.
Right.
And I think that that's a harsh reality for us.
Yeah.
You know, and most of us are now comparing our relationships off of what we see on social media.
Right.
And that ain't it.
We don't know what's going on.
And I almost one of the reasons that I got to the place of even, you know, to marital dissolve, I'll just say that, was because I just could no longer maintain an image. Because within that was hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And nobody was really open to receive true transparency or could handle the transparency of what individually we or others could contend with when you talk about ministry and people looking at the pastor and the first lady.
Yeah.
And so that's the harsh reality.
Yeah.
Because even when I think about the relationship that my parents had, great marriage, I learned nurturing, caring, attentiveness from my mother. I learned protection and provision from my father. But when the true reality, when the rubber meets the road, I didn't necessarily have an example. So here I am now living my life where I'm taking pieces from my mother, pieces from my father, and I'm bringing it. Because my mom, she died with a heavy heart at 46. But then my father passed at 55. But he really didn't get it until it was almost too late. But yet, in that, it doesn't take away the great man he was, the great mother, the great father he was, and great mother she was. It doesn't take that away. But when I think about my grandmother, when I think about my grandparents, I don't really have healthy relationship that I compare to.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So even if I look at Abraham and Sarah, I mean, even Sarah hooked Abraham up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean.
What else they doing today?
That's good. Did you want to have any Okay. Well, y'all got any closing remarks? Man, this has been so good. I have enjoyed this. We're over time, but anything you guys want to say about anything? Deidre, you want to say anything to represent for the women?
I want to listen. I just want to take it all in.
I know, right?
I got some work to do.
We need to have an after show live party or something.
Backstage.
Backstage, behind the scenes.
Well, we just take questions.
Yes. But
in the chat.
please put your beliefs. What you think about this? This was a really good look. This was good. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, it is good.
And it's needed.
It is very needed. And I like the age group that we got up here too, because we're all in different places. I don't care if you're in your 20s to your 70s. You're always learning, always evolving, always growing. So I think that's good. But
And I'll just say this, closing out. We were able to compare relationships to the builder generation, the baby boomers. But when we look at the trending generations of our day,
looking good.
Yeah.
Generation X, we ain't doing it.
Hey, you just said something, because the women back in the day, man, they, I'm not going to get on that. I'm not gonna get on that.
Yeah. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Talk later.
Yeah, we have to talk
When
after
you talk
the show.
about modern day versus traditional
Yeah,
days.
yeah, most
We
definitely.
ain't gonna get on our Kevin sandwiches today.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started out here. You gonna have me over here burning up over here on the inside. Lord have mercy. Jesus.
man.
But anyway, thank you, class and emojis for Pastor
Thank
Christopher
you guys for
Cabiness,
coming
Snap,
on.
Pastor
snap,
Daniel,
snap,
Charles,
snap, snap, snap,
Wandidra, look, myself. We had a good
Yeah.
time today. I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Check them out on social media. Their information's at the bottom. We love y'all, and we'll see you next on the Pink Table Talk.
Talk.
Pink, I made it, y'all. I've been through the storm and rain, but oh, I made it. Yes, sir. Peace.
All right.